This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Gaz, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. What's going on? This is Colteastwood. Oh, Gaz, you look so beautiful today on this Halloween weekend. For those of you who celebrate Halloween, I'm gonna say hi, Gaz, and make sure everything's good to go. Do we sound good? Are we here? Are we live? Gaz, how you been, buddy?
I'm good. How are we feeling? Happy Halloween, you Americans. Cole, crazy dress up, Fallout guy. Put the pictures up on the stream so people who don't follow you on Twitter can see. Happy Halloween, everyone. Sunday special event show. We're going to get lit. He's wearing his X&C shirt. I'm wearing the X&C shirt. We're repping it. Let's go. Let's talk about why Xbox has no games.
Yeah, I was wearing my Gotham Knights is my favorite game ever. And then you said, I'm wearing the X&C shirt. So I'm like, and then, yeah, I got everything ready to rock. We are so excited. We've got topics.
I was wearing your shirt on the date that I went to today. You
were repping in public?
Well, obviously, I had something to cover it on top because it was cold.
You're like...
It was underneath. Underneath, there was X&C.
Did you kiss?
But, oh, yeah. I'm a hopeless romantic. She loved it.
Shout out to the chat, man. Thank you for showing up on a Sunday. So, I don't know where all the holidays land, but here in the U.S., 24 hours from now would be when I would run the show normally for Halloween. But people will be knocking and ring the doorbell, and we'll be out and around. So I thought, hey, guys, let's just hang out today real quick and talk about some of the news that's dropped late this week and stuff over the weekend. And that's what we're going to do, right? Let me give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to the channel members and veterans that have been supporting the show. We got Brian Harris, Mark Carwell, KY Bob, Sass and Loop, Jazzy Noop, Xbox, Ricky Fallon, Stephen Smith, Maurice Baker, Zimic, Ralph Wiggum, Manic Master 6, Matt Burns, William Lanza, Nano Poly, Matthew, Danta Kazada, Robert Ford, Lowe's Story, John, no, I'm just kidding. Dante.
Can you do that all in one breath without breathing?
Okay, here we go.
Can you do it? Okay,
the rest of it.
Start from scratch.
Nobody wants to see me do that. Start. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I have to fill my diaphragm. And that's not what you
gotta
think.
Do it.
It's right here. Brian Harris, Mark Carwell, KY Bob, Assassin Loop, Jenny's been at Six Week for Law, Stephen Smith, Maurice Baker, Zimic, Ralph Wiggum, Manic Master, Matt Burns, William Lanza, Nano Palameth, Adonai Kazana, Robert Ford, Lord Star Killer, XO1, Dante Moody, Databack, Sarek, Zaz, Gaz, Fox, Storytelling, Vic Tab, False Lines, Center, White, DevRio2 Gaming, nope, DeBlue, Bucci, Remix Gaming, V Simco, Assassin, Raymond G. Dub, Larry Thatcher, Hargeet, Chani, TK Chillin, Hate, Raiden Blade, Acute Perspective, True 77, Risk It for the Biscuit, Widani says, Widya Santaso, Greg Loudon, CJad 93. Sorry, I do love reading your names. I love hearing it, and I hope you enjoy hearing it too. But guess what have you been doing?
You said my name.
Yeah, guess. What have you been doing?
Just came back from my day. I've been playing Call of Duty. I've almost max level already. I've just been playing multiplayer because I'm off to Thailand on Tuesday, and I really want to play this game and really max it up before that. But I also have a source video that I'm desperate to make it good, and I hope to release it on Tuesday. It will come out Tuesday. Just whatever. I don't sleep. It will be hopefully really good. And after that, I'm going to take things up a level. But right now, I've been enjoying Call of Duty multiplayer. I've also been frustrated by Call of Duty multiplayer. Still Call of Duty. Still bad spawns. Still stupid things with inconsistent sound effects from your footsteps and all this nonsense. But it's still Call of Duty. It's addictive. It's like crack. It's so good. But it's also so bad. I was just enjoying games, man. and I'm just feeling good. Shout out to everyone chat. Spooky, I see you. I see you. Timmy, how are you doing? And
let's say TZ to go. Yeah, Paul Simon.
Easy to go.
Yep, it's Timmy. Who else we got? Emilio. We got so many great people here. Crazy Old School. I got to hear what else. Sound off the chat what you guys have been playing. I've been playing a crap ton of Gotham Knights, but I'm not allowed to talk about it because people get mad. But man, is it enjoyable. It is so fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you make fun of it. I know people make fun of it. And I don't blame them because, it's the dog to kick while it's down. But last night, I was playing with Fonz. We teamed up. We were both Red Hood, and we were beating the crap out of people, and we were having a really good time. And I think the other people in the party were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so stupid. They're so dumb." We were having a good time though. But I've been enjoying that, and I've kind of left behind Plague Tale Requiem and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, guys, because of that. Because I've been playing that game with my friends. I gotta ask you.
And apparently, people are enjoying it. I'm like, I make fun of you and Zoka for playing it because whatever, it's Gotham Knights didn't exactly be received well. But everyone I talk to that has played it actually enjoys it. Apart from Asa, he doesn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, that would surprise me. He's not liking it.
Yeah, I mean, Asa's got a quiet taste as well, but Asa's taste, I don't know. They usually align with mine, apart from Spider-Man. Rand completed it, and now he's doing New Game Plus. Yep. He's doing it all over again for an achievement. Yeah, he's crazy. But he enjoyed it. So, chat, if you want to play it and you're put off by the reviews, you may want to, if you can, buy the game and just make your own mind up. Because, reviews can be very divisive. And some people enjoy games. Reviews. It's just like everywhere. Like, Colt's really enjoyed the game. Really enjoyed the game.
I can't stop playing it, yeah.
What story? Guardians of the Galaxy or Gotham Knights? Are they close in story?
Yeah, somebody asked me as far as gameplay, like Guardians is really great, but it feels a little clunky, but you don't mind because it's just so enjoyable. Guardians isn't really clunky other than the performance. So they're both about, I would highly recommend both of them. The issue is I told people not to play it on console because 30 FPS sucks. But here's the funny thing is I've been playing it on Xbox the past 2 days. I took a break because I'm like right toward the push to the end on PC and I don't want to finish. So I went back and I want to grab some achievements on Xbox because they feel so good. It's so funny, Gaz, because on my PC I can drop 10 to 30 frames at a time while I'm zipping through the city or driving or grappling. On the Xbox version, you dip like 3 frames. And even though it's only 30, which sucks, overall, when I'm playing, I just feel it's just so much more stable, but that 30 sucks. So I'm just saying this out loud so you were wondering if you should get on Xbox. You have to really pretend that it's last generation because you're playing it at 30. The game's really nice looking. It's fun. What else do I need to say? Please wait for a sale because I paid $45 for it on PC, and I feel like that's about right for how much I'm enjoying it. So please wait. Don't get too impatient. Don't fall into the FOMO. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And hit the like button if you're here. For those people who are here, who normally be here on a Monday, actually showed up on a Sunday, hit the like button. Show your support for Gaz's wonderful face.
Yeah. Do it for me. Do it for me.
We got about 300 people here, so we're just getting rolling. Let's talk. I want you to lead the charge on this Call of Duty talk because there's a little bit of Call of Duty news that came up this week in regards to some of the ABK stuff, and start off by telling the good folks about the special perks you get if you pre-order with PlayStation.
What those were? Yeah. I mean, some of these don't make sense to me. Like, why would you relegate them? In fact, funnily enough, I'm actually putting that in my source video, and I've made a folder because I'm so organized called Source Screenshots 30th of October because I want to. Here we go. So some of these are crazy. Like, I don't know why you would relegate this to a certain platform. PlayStation Party Bonus. Teamwork makes the dream work. PlayStation players that play together will receive a plus 25%.
Nobody plays together on PlayStation. Sorry.
They get plus 25% bonus weapon XP. That means they get to unlock weapons faster and attachments faster before you in a game that's crossplay, and you're going to get destroyed by them. Got advantage Trust me, I know. You hardly get any double XP tokens. I've used all of them, and I'm level 45 or almost, I don't know what level I am, but I'm quite high. But you need that. Oh, they get double XP points as well. Can look forward to exclusive monthly double XP events. 24-hour duration. You know, if you played 2019, get shipment and just level up your weapon again, or that kind of stuff. Double XP. Why do they get to get more XP in a game that's cross-platform? This is bullshit. Sorry, it's nonsense. It shouldn't happen. It just kills the competitive vibe. Battle Pass bundle bonus, unlock new gears, and look, it even says it. Unlock new gear and goodies even faster. PlayStation players that purchase a Battle Pass bundle will get an additional 5 tier skips. That's a total of 25 tier skips. Why? That's so bad.
And you've been playing multiplayer. How much of a big deal is that?
It's a big deal, bro. I've been trying to get one thing. This Call of Duty is so okay. Well, it's a big deal. Tactically, the quicker you unlock the weapons. The thing is with Call of Duty, it's all about the meta. What is the meta? What's the new meta weapon? The attachments will make a difference. ADS, really important. Aim down sight. That's what it means. Like, what's faster? You have to chop and change and then earn your way. And what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 does is makes you do the stupid things where it forces you to use weapons just to unlock an attachment on a different weapon, or use other weapons to unlock another weapon in a different class. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. And Titanfall 2 did that. The advantage is it makes you discover weapons you normally wouldn't. But the laborious nature of it means, I had to use an RPK which is a LMG, just to unlock a scope. Well, it's like, what? Just to try it out. So dumb. They get combat packs, get a free in-game bundle each Call of Duty Modern Warfare Season 2, so operator skins. Cosmetics, fine. PlayStation, they can get that. Extra loadouts, they'll get extra 2 loadouts. You get 10 anyway, it's not a problem. But all these 3, that takes the mick. Battle Pass bundle, 25 tier skips, you get double XP points, so double match events, and the big one, you get PlayStation Party bonus. But Xbox guys will just sit there and have to grind it out as PlayStation guys get advantage, because PlayStation, and the goal of PlayStation to literally cry to the CMA and say, oh, they'll get exclusive content. You're doing it right now. You're doing it in a way that's actually bad and hurts the gaming experience and the competitive integrity of the game. Bad.
Integrity, even.
It generally pisses me off because I am playing this game on an Xbox.
You have had gripes before this was like a public post, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't realize that. I actually read it now, just properly, and I couldn't believe it. Like this, you know what? This is the thing where I don't take, in my source video, I really go at Sony. I really take the piss out of them because I think they deserve. This is just bald-faced hypocrisy that you're telling the CMA this, that Xbox. So these are express words from Sony that Microsoft will do this, but you're doing it right now. You've been doing it for 10 years, and you make it worse.
Bro, you're going off.
Every year. No, it's just really sorry. I'm sorry, but I just think it's no. I really am annoyed by that. I just think it's just so this is why PlayStation needs a slap in the face. They didn't have. I would have liked if PlayStation had the balls drop.
A slap in the face by regulators or what?
It's a slap in the face of all gamers who take. I respected PlayStation genuinely, despite the fact that I knew some of their personalities and some of their rhetoric was a bit like two-faced. But then when they showed their appetite to actually compete by groveling when Jim Ryan quickly scurries over and flies over to Brussels or wherever to cancel the deal, and then they're doing this, I just find it's just stupid. I just feel like you have no balls. That's why I want Xbox to go scorched when you do things like this. And the same principle applies when Microsoft does its own price hike on things, which we'll talk about later. But this is lame. I'm sorry, this is lame. Then you just need to shut up. Sony, if you have integrity, shut up. Don't say that to the CMA.
This is hot on the heels of Phil Spencer's interview where he recently said outright that PlayStation, we're going to treat Call of Duty like Minecraft, and it'll always be on PlayStation. Like that was the proverbial bullet in the chamber for like the diehard Xbox fanboys, right? Like, oh, we're gonna, Call of Duty is gonna be ripped from PlayStation, and then feels like we intend to keep it. I think it's funny. We intend to make a ton of money off the PlayStation. I don't know. What's your take on that?
I mean, I am the fanboy in me, or just someone actually in terms of, well, if you keep it, my PlayStation always relies on multiplats and I would really, and I'm not just saying this as an Xbox fan who likes to dunk on PlayStation. I would have really liked PlayStation to have an incentive to really compete in the FPS arena. I know they're going to do it, but if you removed COD away from that, I've said this multiple times, then it would have been amazing. But now that Microsoft has said that, that's fine. Ultimately, they've said it. It's not profitable for them. I understand. But look, ultimately, Xbox gamers will get the game for free on Xbox Game Pass, and that news is going to travel. So there are a couple of things in that's Phil's statements that I don't agree with, like this whole thing. Well, not agree with, but I'm a bit surprised at. He says that they've kind of not. They say the Game Pass growth has slowed down, and they expect it to be the 10-15% mark of subs in the total revenue bracket. And I think I don't know why he's doing that, but I think you'll go beyond that. I would see them make a lot more. I
don't know why.
You
don't know why he's saying no slow down. I do want to get into that in a little bit. Okay. That is like a whole other thing to unpack.
Yeah.
There were a couple of before we get to that, there were a couple of nice good news things that came out in little packets this past week, guys. One of them was I'll speak on it first. A couple of Redfall trailers that just dropped. Like, we weren't told that Arcane was going to talk more about the game. We weren't told they were going to show us additional gameplay footage. Remember, everyone's like, gameplay. I wasn't expecting this, but there seems to be a surprise market push right now. Gosh dang, Redfall it really needs to be a fall game, especially on this side of the planet where people are getting into fall and Halloween, or maybe the leaves are starting to turn. Like, this is a perfect time to put out Redfall, and I think it was supposed to, obviously. But it sounds like, guys, maybe Redfall is really close. Like, maybe even like January or February close.
I think so.
What do you think?
January, Feb. I think I'm with you there. I think it makes sense. They've had plenty of time. I don't know what the reason for the initial delay was. Polish. It seems like the game was pretty much far ahead. They were actually advertising that game quite actively after the reveal of it last year on YouTube everywhere. Redfall. And now they've kickstarted that, and they showed off their gameplay, and looks very polished. It looks very good, very intriguing. A lot more than your typical. What is that?
That's a Redfall patch I got at FanFest in the summer.
Cool.
These are each character. I don't know if I have all of them like within reach, but I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, Redfall does look good. A lot of people, we know that since they showed off the gameplay, it looks good. I saw PlayStation guys also give up props to it and said it looks great. It looks good. It looks like a lot of fun. It's like your typical Xbox game, 4-player co-op. Enjoy an open world that looks really polished, and Arcane Austin are very talented. This game is a divergent from their previous games like Dishonored and Prey that followed a very particular template. Co-op multiplayer with vampires, and you're shooting there with different character abilities. It looks like a lot of fun. And I think you can
duplicate characters too. You can have more than one in your save file. You can have more than one. Darn, I'm forgetting her name. Everyone's favorite is the magic witch. I can't remember her name. Darn, write it in the chat. Chat, help us out.
Chat, please let us know.
You can have your team of 4 could all be her, because they said that everyone can build them, have different ways they build the class, and it's not Left 4 Dead like we were talking about on your show yesterday on Go Live for Game On Daily. We were talking about where's all the vampires? I only saw 4 on the screen at a time, and it really cemented that every encounter and every kill like matters in this game. It's not a cannon fodder, bullet fodder game where you're mowing down waves of enemies, which, as we know, with Back 4 Blood wasn't as fun as we thought it would be, right? So
yeah, exactly. I think it'll be different from that.
Thank you, Assassin. Thank you.
Layla, yeah, Layla. I think everyone's gonna fight over Layla. But then,
Well, they don't have to, but yeah. That's a cool
But
thing.
also, even within Layla's stuff, you have a skill tree. You can actually enhance it in a particular way that no two Laylas are the same, as far as I'm aware. So I'm really intrigued to play that. I'm looking forward to it. Finally, a game we can play together, co-op, proper fun game. 60 frames as well, so you'll we'll play together. I'm looking forward to that. I think early 2023 is my guess.
It does really seem like it. It does really seem like it. Another one we'll touch on for just a second is Age of Empires 2. I think it's a definitive edition, and then Age of Empires 4, which is a new game, is coming to Xbox consoles. And our good friend Zocker87 said it was never happening. No way they're putting that on console. It's not going to work. The UI, the controls, they're not going to do it. You want to play it, get it on PC.
I remember him saying that.
Oh, he's backpedaling now and saying, I said it would take a long time.
Oh, he's such a piece of... Hey Zoka, how does it feel to taste that lanus?
You're a dumb. This message is brought to you by the Foundation of
Al Qaeda. Cancelled.
I almost said something inappropriate, and then you throw something in there. Oh yeah. Oh, what an L. Yeah, that's funny. But I don't want to talk about Age of Empires for more than a minute, but I think I might give it a shot. You know, with the radial menu, we'll see. We'll see if it's something I like.
That's a lot for me to play.
There's so much. The other thing is Somerville is coming November 5th. Oh, and I wrote it down. So, yeah, November 15th. Somerville, made by the creator that made Limbo and Inside, which are highly awarded, highly rated games that are multi-platform. So it'll have a timed exclusivity window with Xbox. What do you know about Somerville, guys? I'd have to look it up. Do you know what it's about?
I don't know the premise of it, but it's the people made Limbo, isn't it? And what was the other game?
That, you ADD. You're just like me.
The other game. Yeah, I am just like you.
Limbo
What was the other
Inside.
game? Inside.
Well, at least I said it just
Inside.
now.
Yeah. No, sorry. I was reading someone's chat. Sorry, what was it? Yeah, Yasid Bays. He goes, the slowdown was because of consoles not having any AAA games first or third party. You're right. That's why it'll change. That's why I'm intrigued to see. I think Game Pass will see a hike next year. But yeah, on what? My brain's gone. This is what happens with ADHD. Somerville.
It's
I
been
think it's gonna be
MIA
amazing
for a while too, guys.
I'm really excited about it. Definitely one of those first games that one of those indie games alongside Replace that I thought looked amazing, and I loved Inside. I loved Limbo. I did complete Limbo. But I also really I loved Inside way more, and the way that game ends is insane. It's a very Akira. If you watched Akira, which you haven't because you're an uncultured swine.
I am a cultured old swine.
No, you have to watch it. I know it's anime, but it's amazing. The animation is so good. But yeah, look, I'm really looking forward to that. Thing is, November 15th. I'll probably be. I'm back. It's a bad day because on November 14th I'm back in the country and I'm going to be carrying on playing God of War.
God of War comes out the week before. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'll be catching up with that. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But it's a good game. And I don't want anyone to say Game Pass fodder because this is a studio to watch out for. Inside won awards, so did Limbo, and this could be. I mean, it looks amazing. Can you pull? No. I mean,
I'm not Asa. I actually would have pulled stuff up that for the show, and I spent most of the day with family today. I got home and I just took off, I was walking around in a corn maze, so I took off my shoes so I could just breathe and do the show. But we got a super here from Scooter who says, thank you for the super. He says, the local kiddos, thank you for the Sunday stream, although I was looking forward to watching Ecstasy while eating all their Halloween candy.
Oh,
that's awesome. I couldn't imagine trying to do the show at about this time tomorrow. Our doorbell will be ringing every 19ths of a second. It's crazy.
Oh, really? We
it's really crazy. I live in one of those
US thing.
I'm in one of those U.S. suburban neighborhoods where the houses are 12, 15 feet apart, and people just come in by the carloads and say,
oh my God. I mean, I don't know if I'd like that.
Satya rang my doorbell last year Satya Nadella from Microsoft, and I said, hey, and he goes, let us compete. So no.
Faisal with a £1.79 super chat. He goes, Gaz, stop appropriating Caribbean culture. Too late. I'm gonna take that, Faisal. You Qataris can't do it, so let the Pakistani guy do it. Try and cancel that. Yeah, you can't. But
That's
yeah,
the best thing about having
Faisal.
Gaz here is that anything can happen and anything will happen. Yeah, no, it's great. Let's see. We got we got to talk about this because you started this early, so I'll kick it off now. I had this tweet October 9th, which was about 3 weeks ago, where I said, quote, Xbox Game Pass generates $2.9 billion in revenue from subscriptions each year. You can guess Microsoft does not pay $2.9 billion in third-party deals each year, so yes, Xbox Game Pass is profitable, close quote. That was my tweet, and it was met with some horrible anger and angry hate, and everyone says, revenue does not equal profit, and I'm like, you didn't read the tweet. And then where we are, we know that Phil said that Game Pass isn't profitable. You were talking about the 15%. Can you explain that further for my small, feeble mind?
Well, you would. Well, I mean, you say small, feeble mind. You actually were on the money there. A lot of people came at you, but your point. I mean, it's not. It's common sense. We're talking about how much was the figure? 2.9 billion. It's really
2.9,
simple.
yeah, 2.9.
Simple arithmetic. If you take a simple model, because for ages, people are saying the capital investment, the buy-in cost of getting these games to appear on Game Pass is so crazy. Microsoft is making so much of a loss that it's unsustainable. And all of us were in the impression that this was a long-term play by Microsoft and Xbox. So we were going to get this turnaround soon. And then, quite surprisingly for me, they announced 2.9 billion in revenue. And then, like any reasonable person, I would say any reasonable person, you said, well, hold on a minute. 2.9 billion in revenue. That's quite a lot. Not counting PC, by the way. That's seen 159%.
Some of us did the math, right? I had a tweet just before that, like the day before, where I did the math. Like, if you've got this many subscribers and they're paying an average of 8 to 12, or lower because of the dollar, if the people are packing it in, like, you have about this many subs. And I was kind of close on that one too. But go ahead. You
were absolutely smart. You were really close on the sub point. But the main question is, if they're making 2.9 in revenue, not profit, then to calculate profit, what are their costs?
What are their costs? Yeah.
2.9 billion, chat. What would have paid cumulative impact, cost of it? It just didn't make sense. That's why 2 weeks before this announcement, Colt pushed that tweet. I made a video saying, "Well, right. Is it really unsustainable when they're making that much money?" And to which, funnily enough, in chat, who is it in chat? 9 Lives, Gaz. But Colin Moriarty told me Game Pass is losing a ton of money. So Colin Moriarty then came back on the base of the revenue thing and says, look, I've seen people celebrate that they think it's more sustainable. But actually, I think it's quite shocking because he said, no, this is what his word was, because it's much lower for 25 million subs. But he got the figure wrong. It was 18 million subs. And even then, he said, and then he added another bit. And to be honest, this is what he said. If it was profitable, Phil Spencer would have said it. End of discussion, right, chat? Because Phil Spencer literally said it. The words came out of his mouth. I am intrigued to see the goalposts. I'm already seeing it, by the way. People are shifting the goalposts still. Some people say source video incoming, but some people say, I don't believe Phil. He's lying.
All right.
I mean, at what point, like, you're dealing with a cult, you can't do anything. They specify metrics, the metrics get met, goalpost moves on. I'm surprised by it. I'm not saying that's it. Game Pass is a runaway success, but I will say, I think Xbox are underestimating it publicly anyway, Because when ABK goes through, Call of Duty joins Game Pass, then you've got Redfall, then you've got Starfield, then you've got Diablo, which is a first-party game on Game Pass as well. Then you've got the old Call of Duty games. You've got Forza, Motorsports, going to kick the crap out of every racer out there. You're going to be what? What are you going to do? You'll be drowning in games.
Are you guys listening to Gaz right now? He's listing off the surefire releases. He's missing a couple. He's missing Lies of P. He's missing Atomic Heart. Those are surefire 2023 Game Pass games. Stalker 2 is not surefire, but it's probably going to end up landing in 2023. If you have to, you can go back and rewind. We just named off 8 heavy-hitting games that are coming to Game Pass in 2023, and Gaz is making this point that this past year that we're in right now, nothing! There's been nothing heavy-hitting that has come to Game Pass. What has been the big game in 2022? Grounded. Pentiment. I love Grounded, but
I know I'm not
the point we're getting at. Like, where is the games that are so big that someone's going to go, I wanted to sign up for Game Pass, but they just really haven't had anything that I wanted. But everyone's talking about this Redfall game. I'm subbing. So I gotta highlight how you said Phil's not lying about the profit, guys. I think there's some half-truths about what he said. There's a couple quotes he said in his interview where he said that we've reached everybody we can on console. I think that's a half-truth for a couple of reasons. We covered it on your show. But do you kind of remember where I was going with that one?
Which one, sorry?
Where he said we've reached everybody on console, so we're not going to get any more subs on Game Pass from the consoles.
So this is I think the Fonz's point that he made as well yesterday, right? This is all posturing. Obviously, a lot of this, as Asa was saying yesterday as well, the Wall Street Journal, they know they've got eyes on. You've got this big deal going with the CMA, and you have to downplay it. So he's like, I think we've kind of reached the limit there with Game Pass. It's not the only model. These are his words. It's not the only model. We've got the model. It's 15 to 10%. It's not going to be heavily weighted on subscription model in this space anyway. Anti-CMA. Oh, by the way, Call of Duty, we're going to treat it like Minecraft's going to pay everyone everywhere, including Nintendo, which the CMA cites as a divergent console, which Hargeet tells me CMA says is more relegated to fitness apps as opposed to a gaming console. CMA obviously smoke crack all day. Yeah, it's so dumb. But it's just like, okay, so there's the rationale behind it. Phil Spencer's got a silver tongue as well, and everything is tactical for a reason. But I will refuse to believe that this slowdown is indicative of the long-term trajectory of Game Pass. I think it was going to go boom. And I don't think we've even seen it because, chat, be honest, like with I don't know if you talk to many filthy casuals, but when they talk about, do they know what Game Pass is? The people who buy Call of Duty every year and FIFA, or in your neck of the woods, what is it, Madden?
Yeah,
NHL?
I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I went to America. I went to London, central London today. Everyone's wearing NFL jerseys. I think there's an NFL game. It's taking over here. I love American sports because you guys wear dank clothes. But generally, what I'm saying is, hey, dank food that gives you diabetes. But basically, I love it. But basically, I think we're nowhere near seeing Game Pass growth on consoles. I think it's going to grow to 40 million. I think quite easily if you market it properly. Because the vast majority of people don't know about it. If you tell them it's the Netflix for games, you're going to save. It's crazy value for money. It's crazy value for money. It's ridiculous. It's saving all of us so much money. Hence the sustainability cost. Once the mass market know about it, once mom and dad know about it, the filthy casuals, then and COD goes into the game, and you've got this barrage of first-party games. Boom, boom. Why would no one want to subscribe to Game Pass? You got Starfield, you got Redfall, you got Forza, you got Lives of P for the people who now understand what Soulsborne games are, thanks to Elden Ring, which brought it to the forefront of so many people. Like, what more do you want? There's going to be more. Then you've got your Fable, you got your Hellblade, you got your Avowed, you got Elder Scrolls. Like, geez, man. Game Pass they're downplaying it. because I don't, even if
There it
you
is.
take away the view.
Yeah, there it is. There's two things, right? Phil is saying that we've already reached everybody on console. I think he's telling a half truth there, and part of it is because what you're alluding to is they don't want to go to the regulatory agency, and I think Hargit also said this as well. I got to read a couple supers from him, but they don't want to go to the regulatory agency and say, well, we're kicking butt and you just wait till next year. You think this is big? Wait till next year when we start dominating with all these games and people just start subbing in. I think Phil wants to be able to say next year, oh, wow, we really passed expectations in 2023. We had such a steep growth in Game Pass that we weren't expecting. We passed our projections, even if it was by 5%. And things are going really well. And then the rest of us, the hardcore gamer, will go, well, duh, you put out 7 or 8 huge games on Game Pass. Last year you put 2 or 3, and a couple of them were quite old. So, like, this is a big difference. The whole argument about how they're not going to get enough consoles out to grow Game Pass is, I'm not sure about that. Let me read a couple supers here. We got Hargit Chani, who says, thank you, Hargit. He says, rumors that Xbox will set aside where's he getting this rumor? But he says, Hargit's in the know. He says, rumors that Xbox set aside $1 billion for third-party deals for the year, taking all of Xbox's employees, including the studios, including them, I said. That's likely around 1.2 to 1.5 billion. Plenty of extra money there if they're making $3 billion in revenue. And he's saying they've spent a third of it. But they also have to, yeah, I guess that can count. He says that takes all of the employees plus studios, so anybody who's making Game Pass work. One more, he says, as I've said, you have to have consoles to attach for Game Pass console. PC can grow. Cloud is possible. There just aren't enough Series S Series consoles to grow Game Pass console for a little while. What do you think, guys?
Well, the whole point about mentioning all these slate of games is that they will drive the sales of the consoles. We're not having there's no shortage of Xbox Series consoles. They're readily available. I'm sorry, I can go there right now. I know for a fact it's there. PlayStation, maybe a little bit, although they're a bit more freely available. But the idea is you sell more. It's always typically the case when Xbox's cadence and releases comes through and you've got these games, then what are you saying? What's the cap? In the end of this generation, how many consoles are you thinking Xbox will sell? How many in total? Last gen, how much was it? 40 million? 50 million? 57 million? I think it was something like that.
50 to 60, not even 60 probably, yeah, last gen for Xbox.
And that was a failed console. That was a failure of a console.
That was an entire generation when anybody at a store, any media person, any reviewer, or half the fans would say, don't get an Xbox. But you do not have that situation this generation. And right now, you and I argued about this yesterday. Right now, Xbox is 6 million consoles worldwide behind the PlayStation. And you're like, PlayStation has a 6 million unit lead. But guess what? You don't need an Xbox to buy the games or play the games. You're in a world where it is not required whatsoever to buy an Xbox console. And it is trailing behind the PS5, which is completely required to play their games if you don't have a PS4.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, PlayStation is like a few 7 or more million ahead.
Almost 7,
and yeah, and that's respect to PlayStation. That's the force of it. But it's a far cry from the last gen. I mean, they sold, 160 mil compared to 57 or something. But this is the fastest selling Xbox console. Satya Nadella confirmed that last week. It's gonna be crazy. A long term. Guys, they can't just make 50 million consoles in a year. I'm not saying in a year. I'm not saying 40 million subs next year, bro. I'm saying 40 million totality. It's gonna end of this gen. It will take
generation. Of course, take 6 to 8 years.
End of gen. Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to have 40 million all of a sudden next year. Next year will be the catalyst to the growth of it on that onward trajectory to whatever. At the end of this gen, someone said in chat, let us throw the number out there. How many millions do you think they will sell at the end of the generation? Someone said 80, 90.
Oh, how many total Xbox Series S and X consoles by the end of the gen?
In this gen. What do you think? Is it because I reckon if Xbox, the Xbox
Well, it depends
One
on how
fail,
long the generation is. Let me think
that's what I
about
was
this.
gonna say that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
think
I was
about
gonna
this
say that.
logically, because this is a nice social experiment. And shout out to Malicious Munch, who sent out a 2-month Game Pass Ultimate trial. Now, remember, that gets you Xbox Live Gold for 2 months, Xbox Game Pass PC, Xbox Game Pass console, and games with gold, and one more thing, xCloud. So shout out to Malicious Munch for doing that. Malicious Munch, there we go. So how long was the Xbox One generation, guys? 2013
7
to
years. 2019.
2013 to the end of 2020, right?
I don't remember now.
Yeah, 7
Pre-COVID
years.
times of
7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. Now, and they also said that the Xbox 360 generation went on too long. That was 8 years, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
it?
it? So they don't want the generations to go that long. So let's say in the chat, is it 6 years or 7 years, or is it 8 years for the console generation? Because that'll make a big difference how many consoles they sell.
And they've got 25 million subs total. I think that includes PC, right? How much of that's going to be
Xbox
PC?
should sit around 70 million. They're growing a little faster. Chip shortages are going away eventually here. Hargeet says 80. I'm thinking close to 80, but I would say 70 is a good number. What are you thinking, Gaz? And then keep an eye on the chat.
I think 80 would be successful in the kind of trajectory they're in, assuming they carry on this momentum. 70 to 80 would be really good.
I think PS5 is going to hit 100 in 7 years, and that's about it.
100 to PlayStation, 80. I mean, that's suggesting a 20 million gap, which could happen. But Xbox could. Oh, could
what's
be.
the gap between the Switch and the PlayStation?
Which Switch and which PlayStation, though?
We didn't plan on talking this, otherwise Gaz and I would have had numbers,
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you say 100 mil, Sony's not going to sell as many. I don't think the PS5s will sell as much as the PS4.
Switch is at 111 million.
111. Wow. Yeah. So and then PS5s PlayStation 4s have sold more. But yeah, so like say a 20 million difference, 80 million total. Say, give it the benefit of the doubt, 80 million Xbox sold, and we're at 25 million subs already. And how many sold?
Did they say 25, or are we guessing it's anywhere from 25 to almost 30? Did they? What did they report?
It's more than 25. It's more than 25, but they've already reported at 25 million Game Pass subs. But that also includes PC.
So, Zocker and Hargeet made a really good point the other day that next year all those games we talked about are only on Xbox Series S and X. They're not on Xbox One or Xbox One X or Xbox One S. Right? Yeah. Good, right? So they said that could take a large portion of subscribers away, knowing they're not getting those games, and they don't think
that could push more sales on consoles. That's how you push consoles. It's because those games are available there. You want to play Starfield? Everyone's going to be talking about Starfield. You're going to buy a Series console. Done.
Oh, yeah.
Or Redfall? Done. Any first-party Forza? Xbox. And obviously not typically a console seller, but then you're going to get it. Fable, buy it. Hellblade, you have to buy a Series console, or you can play on cloud or PC, whatever. But console
more
game,
likely people are going to buy the console, or they're going to get that
console
PC
gamers
up in
will
order.
buy that. Yeah, it's going to happen. Notwithstanding whatever, the fact that people are stretched for money in this time and age. It's just really expensive now. But yeah, look, I generally think Xbox is going to do well. I think it's going to do really well. Game Pass is going to see perhaps, if they say 10 to 15% of their overall revenue, I understand that. They said 10 to 15% of a larger pie. He said this, Phil Spencer. Of a larger pie is still 10, 15%. That means cloud and PC is growing tremendously in line with the console sales. Do not discount that.
It was his 10 to 15%. He was saying 10 to 15% of our profits come from Game Pass, from our gaming?
Revenue comes from Game Pass subs. I think he said revenue from Game Pass subs, and he says, and obviously it will grow, but it'll still be around 10 to 15%. And the reason why he says that is Xbox is killing it in cloud. They had from 10 million this year to 20 million cloud gamers. That's 100% growth of a 10 million people additional, Fortnite or not. That's huge. And if Xbox builds that momentum with Game Pass, and then you got this Riot deal with PC, Xbox is really positioning itself globally beyond the console alone. Console's front and center. It's the tip of the spear. But ultimately, there's so much behind it. That's why PlayStation is worried. That's why PlayStation is worried that Microsoft is chipping away. Oh, Huggy, you're gonna love this. Chipping away at its monopoly. You're happy, yeah? Monopoly in the AAA console space, not including Nintendo. Happy bastard. Yeah, happy bastard. Yeah, there you go. Me and him were arguing on Party Chat yesterday. One is Monopoly.
You guys were, and I sat back and I was just like, yeah, you got two really smart guys. One that's really reasonable, and the other one that's psychotic. Take your pick, which is which. It was a good argument. Bob Digital, thank you for the super. He says, love the show. One thing I think people forget, including myself, is Indiana Jones, though I'm guessing it's 2024, 25.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana Jones.
Way overdue. Gaz, when's Indiana Jones going to come out?
I don't know. There's so many games. Coalition's new game. What's that going to be, bro? Look.
Man with the crystal.
Man, let me get my crystal ball out.
The guy's like, with the crystal. And I put our faces on it. He's like,
I haven't.
Awesome.
There are compulsion games, and we haven't seen a lot of what these studios are doing, and that makes me excited. But at the same time, I got burnt hard. We all did with Xbox's showcase. To this day, people still damage the controller, and I think I want to defecate on you for still doing that. Today I'm getting in the neck because I said I don't support Xbox's price hikes because I think it's an L. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah,
but
we will.
I just genuinely am excited. I question the management, and I want to. Phil, just let me go inside. I'll sign the NDA. Let me just go in the background. Let me just look at it, and I'll give you an honest answer, not a Paris Lily answer. Yeah, Phil, good job. No, I'll say, look, Phil, sit down and tell me. Do you think this is okay? In my opinion, Phil's gonna be like, why do we care what this stupid psychopath who makes source videos spitting everywhere like a piece of why do we care? We've got all these experts and this stupid crazy pundit on YouTube thing. He should go. Yes, I do. Let me in there, boss.
I've got a 60-inch LG OLED. It's my monitor when I'm doing the show, and it's what I game on when I'm sitting on the couch. And when I'm doing the show, I'll turn off the TV after, and there's like spit across the screen. But I'm like, that's what's in the games.
It's so true. Listen, chat, we do break our backs for you. Everything in life, we're grateful for it, but God, it takes over our life. That's why Phil Spencer should let us go inside. Sign some NDAs. Don't give it to Paris Lily. Let me go in there, and I'll sit down, Phil, and I'll give you the no BS answer. People, you know how valuable that is. Do you know how valuable that is? Just say, that sucks. Halo Infinite would be amazing if I was the boss. I'm just kidding.
Bring me into the marketing meeting in that room. Like, I'll be everybody in the marketing room, and just give me the phone. I'll call the studios and say, hey, if you have any gameplay, just bring it to me. I'll cut the best parts out. I'll make some really great trailers, get everybody excited about what's coming. I feel like Xbox is sitting back going, let's wait until you have everything on. We'll dump it all in June. I'm like, no. If you've got anything really good, even if it's 18 seconds, send it to me. I'll build a sizzle trailer. I'll do all the production value. I'll only charge you $500, and it'll be great. It's so funny. Us armchair guys, right? All of us in the chat. Anybody, if you're here, like Gaz says, we break our backs. We want you to have a good time when you're here at the show. We're trying to have a good time. We're all learning. We're getting good opinions. We're getting some horrible opinions, but hit the like button if you're here having a good time on the show. We got over 600 people, and we really appreciate your insight, because we hear some really good ideas right over here on the chat on this side, and over here is where we're trying to run the show. I really love that, and the chats are coming in right now. Let me make sure I don't miss them, because my moderators, two of my moderators are not here today.
Damn. Okay.
It's okay. I mean, it'll be fine.
Let's read these now. Bob Digital is the last one.
Hold on. I'm just kind of grabbing them as we go, but let me just make sure. Yeah. I got it right here. I can't remember what we were saying. We were kind of like riffing off about how we can go help Xbox. I mean, we don't need to get paid that much. You know, pay us as much as they pay the Bayonetta voice actress, and we'll make something cool.
Oh, sauce.
That music. I need to get one of those. Okay.
Bob Digital with a $5 super chat. He goes, love the show. One thing I think people forget, including myself, is Indiana Jones, though I'm guessing that's 2024.
That's the one I read. Yeah, that's the one I read. Yeah.
Piece of Okay, next one. Jim Ryan, it takes it up. You see this?
Yeah. All I can see is Jim Ryan takes it up the ... Yeah. What do you got?
Oh my God. This is, I believe in generations, but I'm worried about Xbox chipping away at my lead. Game Pass is literally eating my lunch. I need more $70 remakes. Hey, don't make fun of the $70 price, by the way, because it's coming your way, remake or not. But brilliant. Sweeping Vistas. Thank you for being a channel member and super chatting. He says, from Australia, he goes, don't forget, you don't just need Game Pass, mate. Target are selling Series S consoles with a free copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Are they? Are they selling?
Yeah. I saw this yesterday. There was like a little tag hanging off the shelf that says that free copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with the purchase of a $300 Series S. Well, over there it's like $900 or whatever.
Can they do that when they don't have a marketing agreement? Sony has a marketing agreement.
I don't know. I guess it's just a bundle, unless Target is just throwing it in, like they're eating it to sell something else. Kind of interesting.
I don't know.
Hargy Johnny says, thank you, Hargy. He says, if they increase console price, hope it's by introducing higher capacity variants to replace the current ones. At least it would add value for the buyers. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Let's start.
There's also a super chat. I think you missed from Selfish Burrito. $6
hit
euros.
Hit it. Oh yeah.
Because don't forget that Xbox One users owners can play the new Series X console games via cloud, so they don't even need to upgrade right away. Xbox is all about options. That is a very good point, and that is the case. On this price hike, is that what you're leading to talk about the bad?
We kind of have to go into this in order, starting off with Phil Spencer saying that they wanted to hold off on price hikes until the holiday season was over, which is this next 3 or 4 months, which alludes to they are going to start planning price hikes in some form. And I've heard that that there's a lot of pressure from the rest of the industry and from excuse me, I'm sorry, people, you got me all broken up from laughing when you did the heads ringing thing, but they've got a lot of pressure from the industry and from other publishers and from Microsoft leadership about the price of things, as basically Microsoft is giving away compared to what PlayStation's been doing. So we'll start off, Gaz. Maybe you can explain what you think Phil is alluding to. What will be hiked first, or what will be hiked in its entirety, I guess.
Yeah, my notifications are still going from people who are really salty over the fact that I said, look, it's an L because, what did I say? I said the price hike, if any of the three areas, Xbox sub cost increases. One of them is, okay, two of them seem more reasonable. One of them I think is really egregious and shouldn't happen. So there are three areas where we could potentially see a price hike. And Phil Spencer said, look, we're not gonna do it this year. This holiday season, but it's something we'll consider. So basically, to me, that means this price hike is happening immediately or close around the holidays, after the holiday season. Once the holiday and Christmas is over and all the Christmas cheer is gone, bam! You want these, and now price hike, but Starfield and Redfall, guys, it's okay, right? It's okay. They'll massage us as they hit the price hike. And the price hike can take place in three different places. Xbox Game Pass sub. Ow! I hurt my muscle there. Pulled on neck. Xbox Game Pass sub. That is, people say it was always inevitable. What subscription service maintains
$10
it?
a month. How much are they going to raise it? No,
$2-3. $3, maybe like $4. If they do $5, that seems really high. So $3 to $4 probably to be on the.
You got to do a number that kind of works within what you see on Spotify, Apple, Netflix, Hulu. So do they go from $9.99 to $11.99? Chat, help us out too, as Gaz like cranks the gears in his huge brain.
I think they could get away with $2 to $3 a hike on that. That's not so bad. $70 games. Other companies are doing it. It's been Xbox is being the outlier. They're protecting it, and looks like they will.
18. Carolina says, "Holy smokes!" You have to remember as well. Everybody who's subscribed to Game Pass pays monthly, but they're paying all year. Most people don't piece in for a month and piece out, right? So
yeah.
You're looking at a $30. If it's, I'm not even doing the math. I'm not even going to bother do the math in my head. But if it goes from $10 to $12 or $13 a month, that's close to a $30 a year hike, which kind of hurts when you say that. But there's a couple layers to this, guys. And I want to take this carefully because I don't want to damage control, but Xbox has done nothing but ramp up the offering of Game Pass since day one. Of course, this year the quality has dropped because they have not given us big games, but they've added more and more games and more things to the service the longer it's been here. The EA Play has been included, right? And
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I want to talk about that when we talk about the other hikes as well. We'll get into that in a minute, but let's just talk about Game Pass because they started off saying over 100 high quality games, and it was closer to 200 at the time. But now they're well over 400 games on the service. Okay?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, the price hike is inevitable. So what are you thinking, guys? Are you sitting at 12, 15 a month for the new price?
I think it'll be a marginal increase by $2 or $3. 12. I say 15 is pushing it. That's quite a lot from 10 to 15. This 35, 25%. Math fail. 1/3.
Yeah.
But that's quite high. But you're practically maybe $4. But that one isn't so bad. I think Xbox game price hike is okay if the value is there. And right now, the value is there whether or not the ponies want to admit it, because they're, on the one hand, they say it's unsustainable because really in their minds,
the value is there on the PS5. Like the PS5 is, it's a $500 console. It does great things. It plays, thousands of games it pays for itself and its enjoyment.
But the value will be there. But the value is gleaned from the offerings. And next year, God willing, the value will be there because the first party games are there. So
it's a little sparse next year. Yeah,
I'm not justifying it. I already made my position quite clear on the triple L. Ultimately, but Game Pass is less of an L because ultimately the value I glean from it, I will pay $4, and I won't cry about it because I know I'm getting starved. I'm saving so much. Just my 2 games that I would have bought. Just my years I've bought here.
And it sounds like damage control, but the value, the savings is there big time. And JTC X Huge Package has a really good point. He says, Gaz and Colt, what if Microsoft softens the blow by saying, hey, we're raising Game Pass. I'll kind of fill in some extras to kind of embellish what he's saying. We're raising the price of Game Pass from $10 to $12 a month, but we're also introducing a new family share plan. For $25 a month, you can share with 5 people. So you're basically getting, and they've kind of done that with Xbox Live. Do you think they'll do that?
They could probably, they'll probably do that, and it makes sense. Fine.
I wonder if that's I wonder if that was in the plan. They're like, at some point we have to. Maybe that Microsoft's thinking at some point Game Pass needs to sit right around 14, under $15 a month. When everything's in there, when everything's full, and we're done with the introductory 3-year build up, right? The whole plan is to get that right around the $14 to $15 price point per month and offer them everything and give them a family share plan option. So they have the option to do this or this. And even that's not horrible, but I just don't want them raising their price just because they say, hey, we like more money because I'm the consumer.
Well, their numbers, to be fair, compared to the 2 companies, as far as pro-consumer and value Value is gleaned from your game, so it's a bit complicated. But ultimately, I don't think it's that egregious that Game Pass the sub cost increases marginally. Ice Cold Cabbage with a fire at £4.49. Thank you for that. He says, I reckon if they do increase the price, it will be on games. If they increase Game Pass, then I bet it's for the bottom tier or basic gold that gets an increase only. That could potentially work out, but I think they would apply it wholesale. But who knows? There's a lot of variety of ways they can style it out. Hoggy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you want me to read that?
Yes, I do, but you made me think, both Ice Cold and you made me think of something. We've been hearing that Microsoft possibly wanted to get rid of Xbox Live Gold. Maybe it's super wishful thinking, but maybe the whole plan is to yank Xbox Live Gold away and make up for it by offering a better service and putting games with gold in some bottom tier, like he's saying. If you still like those crappy monthly games they give you that you've been getting for like 9 years, you can still do that for like the $9.99 price, but the regular Game Pass price that offers you almost everything is $12 or $13 a month. And then the family share plan and then the Game Pass Ultimate one is the higher tier one. That's a really good idea. Maybe Microsoft is looking at the price hike saying, hey, we need to get rid of gold. It goes against everything we say. We're all about breaking down barriers. We have this paywall barrier, which is so anti-consumer to what we're moved away from, right? So, but we can't lose $1 billion a year that comes in free when people are like, well, I got to pay to play online. So they kind of have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't know.
Just because of the close vicinity between their attempt at raising the price for Game Gold doesn't suggest that they're looking to get rid of it. And the only time they will consider that, in my opinion, but I may be wrong here, is that when Game Pass gets so many subs, that's when it dwarfs Gold revenue generated from Xbox Live Gold. I'm a bit dubious about that. Hoggy says for Game Pass, they could just stop the $1 option, take away the ability to sub via retail cards. That gives them more money without increasing the price.
They kind of didn't they, Hargeet? Didn't they remove they removed the ability to buy a full year on, you could only get it from the card. So yeah, he's got a good point. What's he saying there, guys?
I think it makes sense though. The dollar option, I'm surprised it's gone on for so long. I mean, yeah, fine. You have to get people addicted to it.
That's what they're doing.
Mass market penetration still hasn't happened, like I said earlier. So perhaps maybe that's what it is. But let the games and the value be obvious. I don't think they're marketing it enough into the masses. Like I could put an article, devise an ad in your face. Boom! You're paying how much for your video games? What's wrong with you? Get Xbox Game Pass. That's right. Why you
motherfuckers, you're gonna save so much money, little. Go ahead.
You really like bust into some kid's room and you pick him up by his plaid shirt. What are you doing? Get Game Pass.
Get Game Pass. Yeah, Game Pass for everyone.
The kid's like, Mom, there's some creepy guy with a beard in here.
It would sell like mad. I'm so intrigued to listen to this back. How it comes across on stream.
Mom, there's a bad guy from those violent movies in my room. Let's do that skit. Let's do that.
Yeah, we have to one day.
Yeah, I told somebody that we'll have to record something when we meet up for E3, but we'll figure that out. Somebody said there were 666 viewers here. I don't know what that number means, but hey, I like it. So Game Pass, we talked about the Game Pass hike, but you touched on the $70 games. I think Redfall might be the first $70 game, not Starfield. I think they're just gonna bust that. They're gonna break that seal early on.
I mean, they might do. I just think that's not the prime candidate to break that seal. I think a better game would have been Starfield because of the content value. I'm not saying Redfall will have a dearth in content. I'm just thinking,
there's like 80 hours of Starfield footage if you're not even trying, if you're not repeating stuff over and over, it's going to be a big deal. The Starfield thing's interesting. A lot of people have been talking about cloud, and a lot of people have been messing around with the cloud thing. Like Tim Dog has been playing different games on the cloud. And I've tried to play games on the the Logitech screen or my Razer Kishi on my phone, and that small screen just kind of robs some of that enjoyment when I sit down to play on a big TV, right? But I had this epiphany today. I just tweeted this out, but I'm like, imagine like in between big gaming sessions, I could load up Starfield on xCloud on that little Logitech handheld and go in and do my build my settlement and start building stuff and creating and connecting power and managing my settlement, or going in and adding all the stuff I did in my big run to my ship and customizing it and building it up in my downtime. There's some really cool things you can do
utility
with
for
that.
cloud gaming.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's where I would use it.
I'm intrigued to test out cloud gaming. I want to do that for Persona. I'm going to try it on my Steam Deck actually, but not cloud, but Persona. But yeah, my friend who does play on cloud, he still says cloud is rubbish compared to other bits that he's used like Stadia and something else. He does use cloud a lot. So I don't know where the tech is there, but he's a bit of a pony, so let me check for myself. Don't think.
It depends on where you're at. Like I said on the show, I was on the highway in an area that has 5G because we don't have it in my city yet, and it was working really great. And then I use it at home I have a nice Wi-Fi router that is compatible. So I was playing some games. I'm like, this is normal. And my kids were looking like, hey, this is what we're used to seeing, just a small screen. But oh well. I don't know. Cloud's still got a ways to go. Risky for the Biscuit, who sends an Australian super chat, says, this is inevitable. It's not an L at all. When there's first-party AAA games coming regularly, the value goes up. As a business, more value equals a higher price.
I assume Mr. Lanus, who has horrendous bad takes, that this is just relegated to Game Pass.
Yes.
Yeah, fine, subscription models do come back. If the quality comes up, that's fine. But your suggestion is that the price...
there. The quality was already promised on console or Game Pass. Going into
that's
the
just
Xbox,
fitting it. That's not. They're not raising the price of Game Pass because suddenly the quality of the AAAs are more available. It's something they always intended to do, but it lines up with the fact that they have AAAs available, and perhaps the costs of those AAA games can be argued. But I saw Riskit in my thread defending all the nonsense, and Riskit, your laneness gives me grief.
Nice.
No, but you're right. But he's right. He's right though. Ultimately, in terms of
he is right. When the quality
Game
goes
Pass,
up, the cost can go up, and actually,
ultimately the users.
How could he
will
be
the
right
judge
when
of that.
PlayStation told him the same thing? PlayStation said the same thing to Risk It. They said, "Hey, we're bringing the quality up. Our console costs more. Our games cost more." And that doesn't
we can't
always
do
hit.
it on our sub service.
But
but they also said they can't do it on the sub service.
That's right. They did. They also said that we can't give you our best games in sub-service. You have to pay full price. But when we went into this generation, when we were getting ready to buy what would be the Series S and X, we were told that all of these major games were coming from these studios, and they were buying Bethesda, and we were promised all these games to be in Game Pass and on the console at that price point. So that's what it makes. It makes me mad when PlayStation says we're hiking up the price $50 across the world. That makes me angry, even though I already have one. And when Xbox says
raise the price, what about Xbox raise the price of the consoles? Because that is a fat L.
Now
that
here's
is a fat bold L.
Hold on, hold on.
Don't you dare! I swear to God, if you do a risk it on me and damage control this, I will end you.
Look at the difference. All right, Okay, this isn't me. This is just factoids flying into your into your little ear holes. Okay. PlayStation announced last year that they are making a profit already on the PS5. 6 months later, they raised the price across the world. Right now, Xbox is losing $100 per console sold.
So
and now they want to raise the price on the console.
So
that's all I'm going to say.
No.
I'm not going to give my opinion because I already told you they should not raise the price to console. They said it at launch. You don't raise the price to console. It eventually lowers the longer you go in. So tell me how those two situations are even comparable.
I'll tell you what. They announced they announced that it was profitable last year around April. And the economic downturn and the war in Ukraine happened around a few months later. prices have spiraled as a result after that fact. To suggest that it's absolutely the case that the PlayStation 5 consoles are still profitable on the old pricing model and their whatever costs are static, I will give them not benefit of the doubt, but this thing is a fluid situation. The war on Ukraine is a very recent phenomenon. So perhaps there's that as well. Also, Phil Spencer talked about do you know why Phil Spencer said it's 100 or 200 with them making a loss maker? Do you know why? What the question was? The question that was asked was, hold on, Phil. How do you have accused Epic of charging for a commission, yet you yourself charge a 30% commission in the console space, in the console market? Why is that? And he said an argument, and his justification was because our console's slightly different because we sell at a loss. That's why it's justified. Essentially, that's what he said.
And then he went ahead and said how much they were losing.
That's exactly what happened. She asked this question, and his response was, well, console space is different because we sell as a loss maker and we make it on software. Direct answer. Is Microsoft going to remove their 30% commission now? Is that the justification? Is that it wasn't the rising cost of they're making a loss, then remove your commission. If you're going to raise your price to cover your cost, remove that 30% commission.
Did she ask Phil about this podcast in that interview at all? Like,
she goes, you have met that guy from XNC. Do you have any statements to why you are liaising with terrorists?
Your professional words, liaison. Liaison. Oh my gosh. Why did he say how much they were losing? Like, because
he was caught unawares. The lady
Uh-huh.
put him in the spot. He goes, well, hold on a minute. You're talking about this Epic battle versus Apple and how bad it is that they charge commission. Yet you're still charging 30%.
I mean, PlayStation and Xbox charge a commission for third-party games, right? And so does Steam, but Steam is Steam's 30%, and then Epic is 10 to 15, right? Like Epic charges a commission, don't they?
Epic charge a commission, I think, as well, but perhaps lower. I'm not sure. But let's wait and see. Risk it. The $2 super chat. He goes, why would you put yourself out there? This is why you take so many L's. He's so fucking.
I love risk it so much.
Risk it, please. Risk it. I like him. He's a funny character, but risk it. Can you do me a favor? Can you do the Xbox Nation bit? Just go to the PlayStation side. Just go there. Then I can use you in the source videos. No, he says, thank you for the $3 super chat, because the console price isn't going up, not happening. Why would you speak so definitively? Why would you just set yourself up? Because he does this. He goes, God of War, no way is it coming in 2020.
When Phil says they need to raise prices after the holiday, the very first thing I thought was consoles, because the most important thing that they want to push are consoles in the holiday, because it's Christmas, it's under the tree. Of course, they're going to sell a lot of games. They'll always sell a lot of games on the holiday. But when he says we want to make it through this holiday before he didn't use those words, but he said we want to get through the holiday before we increase any prices. That, to me, that is directly pointed at the console, right? Are you thinking the same thing, guys? So to say they're not raising the price, gosh dang it, I'm going to be so mad if they do that. I never ever would have thought in a million years that the Series X is losing more than $15 or $30.
I know.
Now I'll tell you why. Because what is in the PS5 is not not grossly different from the Series X. I mean, we've seen the inside. The Series X is really greatly designed in the form factor and everything. But those components, they cannot be that far off. When they're sitting there saying, we are making a profit on the PS5, knowing that the PS5 digital, they're losing money on. So they must be making enough money to say the high-end disc-based PS5 is making $1 or $2, whatever they were making on it. And when you threw that wrench in there, guys, like out of my information or my knowledge about the war in Ukraine causing supply issues and raising prices of everything, they got really bad. So maybe what Phil's saying is right now, it wasn't that way before. Before, maybe they were losing $20 on a Series X, or I think the Series S probably loses them more money.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing Risk It in the chat. Oh my God, you have no testicular fortitude. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say it would be delayed at all. Take Gaz's thing on your mouth. I asked the question if this means it could. Never said it would be. But then later on, you acknowledge you took the L because you were hearing from a source that it was going to be. Don't you dare. This is what I will orbital strike this Australian. Stop doing that. I can't ignore this guy's hell. Oh, I need to get receipts on this guy. Risk It noise. He's like a little brother. He reminds me of my youngest brother when I used to talk to him. Just like.
Did you guys know that Gaz has a brother that's like a total pony, and this is why he has grown up to the man that he is today?
My middle brother's a pony, but yeah, my youngest.
I couldn't imagine that.
Gamer.
I have an older brother and 2 younger brothers, and they care nothing about video games. I don't talk to them about my podcast. I don't talk to them about Xbox or videos or YouTube at all, because it's like they don't care. And then Gaz tells me I put my brother in a chokehold when we talk about exclusives.
It's true. It's literally like Battle for Fallujah in our house. It's just like this. Why do you think I'm console warrior all the time? Sorry, that's a bit raw. It's pretty bad.
Oh my gosh, I just can't imagine. I wish my brothers were like in the console war, because then we could have something interesting to argue about. But we just talk about my mom. But yeah, it's and so does everyone else. Everyone else talks about my mom.
Assassin did a super chat. Assassin remembers it. Well, Risk It. I respect the hustle, but the last time you said something wasn't happening was God of War Ragnarok being delayed. Then it went gold a few days later.
Oh my gosh.
And do you know what he actually did? He goes, "Oh, why hasn't it gone gold yet? Maybe it's still going to." Then a few weeks later, this happened. There's ways to finesse things, Risk It. I will teach you for a fee. I will teach you.
Gaz has taught me just a little bit. He's like, just cover your own butt a little bit. And I'm like, no, I like to weed out people who get, CYA, yes. Palpatine says my mic almost got a shower. Yeah, I just about spit that everywhere. Assassin, thank you so much for the super. He says, Risk It. I respect the hustle. Did you read this? Yes, you did. Okay,
yeah, I just literally read it right now. Are you stupid? You even laughed at the chat. This is what happens when you have 2 people with severe ADHD. Literally, just read it. He laughed.
I could just imagine.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? This is a whole new world.
I cannot wait.
How fantastic! What's going on in this podcast?
I can't wait till you and I are like I said in Call of Duty, like you and I are like supposed to go on like a special mission. And they're giving us the safety briefing, and we're there holding our M4s, and they're like, "You guys got it?" And we're like, where are we going?"
Can you imagine if we were in the Marines? Oh my God, we'd be so bad. It would be so bad.
Everyone run off, and we're like, what were we doing?
And then boom, like fast forward, you're like, hey, what were we
Camera
supposed
cuts
to
over
join
and
the
Gaz
Taliban?
has like a granola bar.
It's just like, yo, Colt, were we supposed to join the Taliban? This is the wrong army.
Okay.
That could be a funny skit. That'd be a funny skit.
We were laughing our heads off playing the Call of Duty campaign. I'm like, I didn't hear any of that briefing, and I'll end up just jumping in the water, and then I get shot. And it's like you failed the mission. Let's talk about the other thing. Hargit kind of covered this. Oh my gosh! Risk
is trying to deflect me. He said it's not like Fable was delayed before it even had a release date. Risk It. Try and get your facts right. I said the scope had increased because there's scope creep and what's happened. And then the developers came out to corroborate what I said, basically saying that, things always change. There's always this change in scope. Never said that. Risk it for the biscuit, walking with a permanent lanus. What you should do is prostrate to me and say, Gaz, teach me from stopping in this young, you have a young, thriving career, and yet you've taken so many L's. I beg you, go to the PlayStation side, please. Chat, let's set up a GoFundMe page to enable Risk It to go to the PlayStation side. Now facts. Risk It just takes the L. Just go PlayStation. Please go PlayStation. Special Nick, shout out to you. That moment when he clocked that. Oh, I completely did not listen to what you were saying. That was too funny. That was too funny, man. That was hilarious. Assassin, what happened when Special Nick was on? That was when I didn't understand what Colt said, so I asked him to repeat it, and he did, and I still didn't know what he was listening because I wasn't concentrating, and we were in hysterics. But that was a great time. Shout out to from Azores from Portugal.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out. Welcome to the show. Hit the like button if you're having a good time. We kind of went off the rails for about 17 and a half minutes. But I mean, this next news piece kind of gets me excited about the possibilities, but it's just so crazy. Some people are reporting, some developers or insiders are reporting that mid-gen consoles do in fact exist, and they are coming very soon, maybe next year, or I would say now over a year from now, before 2024 or 2025. We are in a really weird situation where developers have been saying that they want the Series S dropped. But then there's a real possibility that PlayStation and Xbox have been working on the next generation consoles, and they might be holding their work, paring it down to actually create a mid-gen console out of that engineering setup. So, guys, I don't know what you think of this. It seems like it's too early because there's a whole conversation about how we haven't even tapped into the potential of all of the consoles. They're not doing anything other than doubling the frame rate on last generation games. So yeah.
You're right there, and I think the Series S will be problematic based on what Digital Foundry said and the RAM shortage in the long term or the tail end of the generation, perhaps. But right now, you're right. We haven't tapped the power of it. And really, a tech artist saying, ooh, it's a potato and I don't like it. And then you're seeing it run, even though it's at 30 frames on all the next-gen consoles, is still running Plague Tale quite proficiently, even outdoing the PlayStation. I know it's a low res, fine, but still outdoing the PlayStation. Some scenes when it comes to frame rate for the same next-gen only game running on Unreal Engine 5, toned down res, seems to be working. The biggest problem with the Series S that it poses to a lot of devs, and we've had Remedy's developers say that, is the additional time that devs have mandated to devote to this device. And that obviously is an issue. We've had David Springer, a tech director, now working senior guy at Playground Games. And he loves the Series S. He says, like, it's quite simple in his mind. It's like, it really is as simple as toning down, taking away some effects, lowering down the res. This guy is the tech director. He was at Codemasters. Now he's working at Fable. Chief, what's his role? I'll find out right now. It's not a minor role. It's not a tech artist. I'm not downplaying what tech artists do.
Production, something director. Yeah,
he's a chief engineer. He's chief engineer at Fable, at Playground Games. Chief engineer, bro. At Playground Games, one of the most talented studios out there, who delivered Forza Horizon 5 that looked so good. Some people's MBG thought it was fake real-life footage. Then it switched to gameplay.
That him? No. It was somebody else that said, "Where's the gameplay?" And we're like, "Hold on 2 seconds," and it goes into gameplay. That was another funny one. That was another L we want to talk about.
That was hilarious. But that was Forza Horizon. That's Playground Games. That's their pedigree. So the chief engineer is telling you that. Who do I take? Look, I'll tell you the senior people who did say it. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. You've got the chief engineer at Playground Games saying, it's great, tone it down, it'll be fine. But he did say on our show that, look, the time spent on working on these things is a problem. Fine. Remedy, the guy was very candid about all these consoles. And he was the one, like, he had no horse in the race. The guy at Remedy, after Control, he said, Xbox have done this thing. They got these new tools. It's going to take ages. It's annoying. He was the one who confirmed the whole tools argument, speaking to IGN, I think. But then he said, the Series S, he got frustrated. And he's like, oh, just more time. He just like, he alluded to just have to get used to it and deal with another SKU because devs don't like it. Like, consumer friendly, great. But devs don't like the fact that the Series X exists because it's more time, more headaches. So I understand their view on it. But then you've also had some people at id Software, just before the ZeniMax acquisition, also bemoan this console on the power level, and then they deleted their tweet on the ZeniMax acquisition came in. So the truth
we're gonna work
is
for them,
there
right?
in the middle. Yeah, exactly. Instantly deleted it because the ZeniMax happened. So obviously, like, they didn't even know that was in the cards. So the Series S could be problematic.
I mean, obviously
right now,
they're going to complain.
still.
Like, you have lower spec PC hardware that's going to run your games that hits in your target, but you've got the lower spec Series S that you have to specifically build that bespoke version of and launch it and certify it on Series S. It's more work. And we said this really well on your show yesterday with Dirt and Asa and you, right? That devs aren't lazy. You're just asking them to bend over backward to get this lower powered console to run major AAA games. We had a great argument and discussion with Hargeet Chani about how Nintendo doesn't get any of these mainstream games because they have a lower spec hardware that devs just can't target for, unless they make a special version where they just kill everything to make it run, right? So obviously the Series S is a pain in the butt, and that was the quote. Digital Foundry says the Series S has been a bit of a pain at times. That was the quote. But then there were no quotes that said we want to get rid of it. It was like kind of a report from the media, just like kind of like filled in the blanks, right? I think they're justified for complaining.
Yeah, I just want to say, Sith Lord, welcome to the Colteastwood family.
I was talking to Sith Lord earlier today in a DM, and I said, I'm actually going to run the show a day early, and it was Special Nick was asking in the chat because I want to get him on the show, and I wasn't planning on doing the show at all this week. I was just going to take the day off. And then we had such a good time on Go Live. I'm like, Gaz, you just want to hang out for a little bit, talk about this news on my show, and then I'll enjoy Halloween. And Gaz was like, I guess. But
no, I didn't say that.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Sith Lord. Thanks for being here, and welcome to the channel Early Access. You get custom emojis if you join. And joining also gets you my videos like 10 to 12 hours earlier than people. Here, let me put those custom emojis I drew in. You can use those in the chat. You can use them to troll people. You can use them to tattoo on your lower back for your next big family reunion. They're great. There they are. They're in the chat. But no, thanks for joining the channel membership, Sith Lord. Yeah. Also, you can be entered in for merch, and you get to pick the merch. I think that's cool, Gaz. Like if I reach out and say, hey, you won, which I don't do it on Telegram. That's a scam. I reach out in a DM or message someone and say, hey, you won. Here's a link to my store. Pick something. Let me know what it is, and I'll mail it to you. And Gaz puts up the sirens.
Fraud alert. Thanks for joining. Just wanted to play Modern Warfare 2 until Colt dragged him into production project. I actually wanted to work on a source video, but it's too late. I came here too late. 11 o'clock. Time's going by.
Read Germany, who's... I'm going to go ahead and just show it because he's been angry in the chat for the past like 10 minutes. Like he's like, I want people to know I don't like Xbox and they need to hear my voice. Read his chat right there.
Germany. He says, Colteastwood and the horse he rode on straight up. The horse he rode on was you because you're a pony and he's riding you live on XNC. Yeah!
Yeah, I was just grabbing him by the back of the hair and just riding him into town.
Oh my god, did we just live destroy this guy? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? With me here, he just got mad.
He's a pony. I don't even use the word pony. I'll let you use it. I like it. Shout out to the Mod Happy Bomb for being here and giving Germany who the old, the boot.
Yeah. So Xbox has no games.
Hey, doesn't the horse he rode in mean like I thought I was like really important or something?
People hate you for a million reasons. I've already found it. I've just started my YouTube channel and people are like, Gaz thinks he's this, and I'm just like, am I going to be fake to you guys? No. So like people always throw accusations at you, but nah.
People have to figure out if they even like the real you or the fake you. I don't know. Pick and choose, right?
I never pick the fake me. That's why I'm going to be obnoxious, and I know one day all of you are just going to be like, you know what? I hate you guys. And I'll be like, you know what? You too.
Hey, I got a super here from Assassin. He says, risk it. I respect the hustle. But last time you said something wasn't happening, it was God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, my. I'm done. Screw you. It's my foot.
Reform 3D says someone needs to clip Colt riding on the pretend horse. Okay, well, so let's wish and dream for just a second. This mid-gen console, like, what could it be? They got to keep the Series S around. So
please don't be. Chat, do you really want a mid-gen console? The answer is yes. Please.
Oh yeah, let's put a poll up. Dude, I'm dying. I am dying.
Oh my God. I would hate a mid-gen console. Paul Simon Gaz has finally lost it. Yeah, I lost a long time
I gotta
ago,
go back after this is done and watch your face when I was reading that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm putting up a poll. For those who are watching or listening, or those who are listening on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, or the other podcast platforms, I'm putting up a poll right now in the chat, asking them, how do I get to it here? I don't want to. Do you want a mid-gen console? Yes or no? And the votes are coming in already. There's already 50 votes, and 67% say no. I really feel like the Series S I have down, or Series X down here, has plenty more it can do. So, what are you thinking, guys?
Yeah, dude. Please, no. Just no. God, no. No, Steve Carell in the office. No! God, no, Toby, no! That's literally my reaction to it. I don't want a mid-gen console to splinter the base and another SKU for developers to... Oh, because that's what developers really need, isn't it? Another SKU to really wrangle
that. I was thinking about that before the show. I was just thinking about how... Imagine that now they have the XDK where they have to do the Series X, the Series X2, or Series X Triumphant, or whatever it's going to be called, and the Series S. And then they have to deal with the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Oh my gosh, that would really suck. MacBound, should they do a mid-gen refresh console? Let us know in the chat. You're so beautiful. I don't know.
Man. Let me see the votes. I'm looking at it right now. 34% said yes, you I swear, they're probably just doing it to piss me off.
Can you do me a favor, guys? Can you do a short skit of Asa as Toby and you're Steve Carell, and you're telling them, no, please.
Asa does look like Toby. It's so funny.
That'd be so great.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love to do it. Yeah, it's true. Why 34% of you said yes? You want a mid-gen console?
Well.
I hit the wrong button there. Let's get the crap out of me.
It worked, though. It worked. But, well, I'll make you mad. I mean, I would buy it. I'm a sucker. I would be so cool to see what it could do. Because
obviously
we were promised so many things. No, Assassin, I'm with Super. He says, are you okay tonight, Colt? No, I'm dying over here. It's so hot in this room, and Gaz is killing me. I would want one because they promised us ray tracing. They promised us... They promised all these RDNA 2 features, and they're using none of them.
So then use it. Or put your hands up and say, sorry, everyone, we lied. RDNA 2 on these consoles doesn't work. Developers will hate it. Devs will hate the fact that they have to work on this.
If the dev kit is allowing you to use it, and I just... they haven't even started using next generation yet at all. They're not using any of these advanced features. And once they do... It'll feel like a mid-gen console. It'll feel like it's been updated. Like Dealer says, update, upgrade. Like, we've been waiting for this. Dealer's been begging for them to start using the actual things they promised in the console. You and I have done the same.
I
Yeah.
don't think the mid-gen consoles will make them do that. The tools eventually being ready will eventually make them do that. The headache of contending with another SKU is just going to make things worse. The Series S already annoyed me with the fact that it exists, but it's a smart move. Like, obviously, like most
Why
of
does
the
it
people
annoy
who
you?
buy-
Like, do you really believe it's that big of a problem? Have you played
No,
on one?
I've actually got one which I haven't used, but that's for a giveaway, which I didn't go do, and I've got loads of things to give away at the moment. But the reason why it annoyed me is I wanted. This is obviously what the reality that's panned out is completely different. I wanted a no compromise, all in next gen power. What I didn't want is compromises to be made, and I didn't believe in this. Oh, totally scale it down like David Springer says, I'll be fine approach, because I thought there's going to be a problem. And I mean, Digital Foundry did say the RAM is going to be problematic. Devs have to think a way around it, but then RDNA 2 tech will help this. That's not what they said, but that's why I was against it. I want a uncompromised beast of a machine. That's it. Devs focus on it. And 2 years later, we don't even have proper next gen games. Only they are coming out now. Plague Tales 30 frame. Yeah, and that's the reality of it is. But if you add more consoles on top of that, it's just gonna royally annoy developers. You still have to cater for the Series S, this Xbox Series X, and now these new consoles, and the PlayStation 5 Pro, or whatever you call it, and the PS5.
I can't
It's
imagine
just-
that PlayStation's worried about the power differential on big games like Call of Duty, knowing that they have a PS5 Pro in the works. I also don't believe when Phil Spencer says we're not doing a mid-gen console this cycle. And they already know that their team is wildly behind supporting the Series S and X for developers to make their job easier. They're way behind. So even putting any
Do you
kind of
think it's
pressure
gonna
on,
happen?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think
I hope
none
it
of them are
doesn't.
in the situation to even deal with a mid-gen console right now. It's the whole thing about the cost of materials and the chip supply constraint. Why in the world would you throw in another console SKU in there that's supposed to be bigger and faster and more expensive when you're in a situation where that's the last thing you'd want to do? The chat, the poll is 67% say no, 33% say yes.
A lot higher than I was expecting.
Sure. I mean, I did expect some people to want them. I mean, I like shiny new anything. You went and bought a Steam Deck, shiny new, right? We
Yeah.
like shiny new things. I mean, and if it existed, right? We're not a developer. We don't have to worry about the pains of developing. We would just get more power, which means we'd have better chance of getting access to higher, more stable frame rates, better looking visuals, blah, 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 right? All that stuff would be great for us. And it's like, do you want to spend another $500, or is the mid-gen, or is Phil saying we want to increase the prices because we're going to have a new console SKU out, and we want that thing to, push what $500 is, and maybe go higher. I don't like it, but
I don't like it. I like a clear one. Just call it what it is. Maximize the power of these consoles, or what these tools can do. Get your tools in order so we don't see marginal increases in performance from the PlayStation 5, for instance, because that's a good litmus test of how much you're utilizing the tech in these consoles. And then when I start seeing your promises, well, we'll see it. The big games, well, Starfield is going to be a looker as such. Hellblade is going to be the big one, and I want to see that. So let's see. Digital Foundry said Scorned is the first console game to implement FSR 2.0. RDNA 2 is coming. Thank you, JCT Bean, for the $10 super chat. I didn't know that. They just released that today or yesterday?
Yesterday, I think, and it came with no fanfare whatsoever. What did he say? FSR 2.0 and oh yeah, just FSR 2.0. Yeah, and it was supposed to be Deathloop, and as far as I know, I don't think Deathloop even got FSR like it was supposed to. They said this fall it's coming to Xbox is going to have FSR or something like that in their little AMD's little marketing deal about that. And FSR is a software implementation. It's something that they put in, or they run an algorithm, and it makes the game look better and gives you 15 to 30% performance boost depending on how much you use. So you don't have to worry about your games looking jaggedy just to run great. Like it's what developers want. Like they can hand the game to a PC gamer, right? They hand the game to millions of PC gamers, guys, and they say, look, here it is. Here's recommended. Here's minimum. They don't have to worry about how it looks because they didn't sell them an ugly looking game. It's up to Zocker to run the game at 1440p on a really expensive rig if he wants to get that performance. It's up to any PC gamer to do that on their Steam Deck, right?
Yeah.
But on the console, they got to stay. It's a whole package. Like, this is Gotham Knights. This is what it looks like. This is how it runs. And there's no questioning that. That is how it is. That's why I say PC gamers can lie through their teeth all they want. They can say, oh, I'm getting 120 frames solid in the open world, no problem at 1440p at 4K with ray tracing on. And then they're running the game at DX11, which doesn't support ray tracing. But who's going to call them out on it, right? The developers have to make a really nice packaged version on console. And a mid-gen just doesn't make any sense. I wish I could ask them directly.
Yeah. Shout out 600 people watching. Smash the like button. I just want to see this power thing play out. I'm quite disappointed so far in how the gen has progressed, not just in power, also games. So I remember earlier I said this could be one of the best gaming generations of this year. The only way that can continue to happen is if the gen is extended and we see the most of this power being utilized. Let the tools mature on both, and then let's just see those games. And also one day, if we can say, and I think we said this in party chat, the SSDs on these consoles, if we get the baseline mechanical drives off from PC out of the picture, that could fundamentally change or shift the way games are developed by game developers who are early this gen, before we started, were waxing lyrical about the prospect of game development fundamentally changing if we have this baseline of these crazy NVMe or whatever SSD drives that are built. So hopefully one day we'll see that. The sad reality to me, it looks like, is it's going to be a while till we see that. And that's
I'll be the voice of reason as far as anybody in the chat who's worried about mid-gen refresh consoles or where we're headed or how long it's going to take. And you have to remember, and I've said this many times, but please remember this. Everything we've seen over the past 2 years has definitely not been a full next generation experience. Most of the games that we've played over the past 2 years, almost every single one of them, even Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, have been a PS4, Xbox One designed game that has been pushed up with higher frame rates or with things like ray tracing performance. Because what you're doing is hey, we did this last year really great. Let's take it a step further. It'll be a while because it's going to take a while for the devs to get everything in order, like Gaz said, but it also takes a little while to get away from cross-gen and get, I would say, somebody who starts a game last year or this year and is going to work on a game over the next 5 years, they're going in fully pushing out. I talked to somebody, I can't say who, I talked to somebody at Xbox that said games have been GPU bound for so long because of the last 2 generations of console. The CPU couldn't keep up with the GPU, so there was a bottleneck where you couldn't get more frames no matter what you took away. Now we're in the situation where you don't have to make that compromise. So what they have to do is developers can finally say, they can take a breath and say, we can put more things on the CPU because the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles have killer processors. We can finally offload all kinds of things that normally were GPU bound, particle effects, physics, AI, interactions, all kinds of different things that happen in the world can finally be put on the processor instead of putting it heavily on the GPU. Think about it, because last generation, what we saw a lot was 4K at 30. We saw incredible looking games like Red Dead Redemption, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Spider-Man that looked incredible. Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5 looked unbelievable. But what you saw was a massive, except for Gears 5, a massive push in the graphics. Pretend the GPU's right here and the CPU's down here, right? Massive push in visuals, making things look big in resolution, really nice detail, nice good textures, no jagged corners, everything looked really nice. But the frame rate was at 30 because it squeezes down. Now they've got power on both sides, and we've yet to see it this generation. I don't think the mid-gen refresh consoles are a thing. I think once they open up and start approaching that, where because in the it's all about that design where you're saying I got to push. I'm ranting. I'm so sorry. I got to push all of these things onto the processor. Let that processor and the RAM do all that work. And you have this throughput like a factory, and the GPU is going to grab all that stuff. It's going to build and draw and render everything. The CPU is going to call the frames, call them as they come in, and build them as fast as they're drawn, refresh them. Animations are all working in concert. We have yet to see that in a game design. Everything we played, I'll say it one more time, has been an Xbox One or PS4 game boosted up to Series and PS5 minimum standards, really.
Yeah.
That's what
absolutely.
I think's going on.
And I hope that's the case. Well, once we do get that, and you're right. I mean, that's not disputable. The CPUs immediately out the gate for the last gen consoles when they were announced were disgusting. I remember the Fallout. Like, what is this? These Jag cores are disgusting. Like, that's gonna hold it back. Now we don't have that. And that's why we were so excited at the prospect of these next-gen consoles, yet nothing has happened because we've been hindered by those Jag cores because we still were developing for last gen. But the potential is there. It's going to increase. One thing I will say, though, is Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter, who is lovely.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable. He did say to err on the side of caution. The title of the article, something along the lines of, is actually check out GameOnDaily.com. If you haven't registered on GameOnDaily.com, you're a fake gamer and fake supporter. But there's
I haven't
article
registered.
that you're a piece of ass. No.
This message brought to you by Game On Daily, your source and site and news for news site and source in the news and the site source.
He says basically, don't be surprised that 30 frames, you'll get more 30 frames per second games, and which is going to be funny to see the fallout of.
I don't understand why they did that whole article. They know way more than I do, but when you look at the specs in the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles, why? Like every PC,
he did say
any PC that is anywhere near that Series X or PS5 would easily be able to run that game at a nice resolution at 60 frames. I just don't get it.
I think one of the takeaways was that developers will be pushing. It's the choice is on the devs, and a lot of devs will push for the visual fidelity, and as Plague Tales, Requiem really did. So you will see more of that. To me, it's not that massive a problem, as long as you give options for 60. But for something like Hellblade 2, I'll tell you now, chat. I've said it before on Go Live. If ever 24 frames. I made fun of the Order 1886 for doing this. I used to make fun of their filmic FPS, but I was a peasant then. I understand it now. Because the Order 86, even now, stands visually head and shoulders, like, puts a lot of games to shame. Beautiful game. And what Ninja Theory are doing with Hellblade 2 looks amazing. And there's a video you
doesn't
covered.
Look like a video game. Yeah,
it looks like a movie with the bokeh effects, and they're really going in for the widescreen view. There are loads of cinematic techniques, and they're building tools just to accommodate that, which is incredible. They are so flourishing technologically under the Xbox banner. By the way, it's really beautiful to see.
I agree with you. I think they're going to put the 24 frames, the film mode first, and then they'll let you go in and change it to performance. Knowing what they did with Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, like I said on your show yesterday, I bet you load up that game and it's default running on the 24 beautiful mode, and then you can go in and change it before you hit start. But I think they want you to experience it that way, and it'll be interesting to see how that looks. Assassin, thank you so much for the super chat. I've been hanging out with him on the Ecstasy Club party chat on Xbox, and he's just been hanging out in some of our other party chats as well. He says, I asked Jeff Grubb and Miles Dompierre on Xbox Chatterdays, which is Miles' show that runs on Saturday morning. He said, what games from Xbox could be at the Game Awards? They agreed on Hellblade 2, but also said maybe Avowed and the Kojima game. Agree or disagree? I mean, Hellblade 2 is well... Hellblade 2 and Avowed are both well overdue. But the Kojima game, I don't even know if it's how far in.
Kojima,
what do you think?
If Death Stranding 2, yes, then it will come. I mean, they've already started.
Wait, you think that? No, you could be right. I just had like a.
Yeah,
Death Stranding 2 Xbox exclusive?
No, PlayStation.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
No, that's on PlayStation.
What if it's like,
exclusive.
What if it was like his cloud experience? You know, he's like, I want to do what I did with the connections and the strands in Death Stranding, and Phil's like, well, we can do that with Azure and with the cloud service. And he's like, all right.
I am so worried because he's working on a PlayStation game, or Death Stranding 2, and then he's working the Xbox game. The Xbox game, if that is crap, he's selling us a bill of goods with cloud tech, and it's experimental, and it's a
it's like a card game. It's like I'm getting
POG
game.
Crackdown 3 vibes. But yeah, no, like that cloud tech. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, on that super chat, I'm Hellblade 2. We'll definitely see that. I think I'll be very surprised if we don't, and possibly a release date. Avowed. I think that's a good shout. Jeff Grubb knows his shiz. He has been right on quite a lot of things. People gave him hell for even the Kojima Xbox partnership existing. And he announced that months and months ahead of the official announcement, to the point where he even looked doubtful. I still stood by Jeff. That piece of crap doesn't even reply to my DMs. That piece of actually the last DM I said to him. He's not gonna
go on your show, bro. Nah,
he was, but the Niagara Falls. Then the last message I sent him was me in the toilet, just a video of me in the toilet. She's not gonna reply to that. And there was no message. It's just me in the toilet going. But yeah, Avowed. Yeah, all of that seems pretty good. When is the video game award?
Sure. December.
Yeah. Okay. Damn, you're in November already, pretty much. Oh, that's crazy. I'm in November in 9 minutes. That's crazy.
What?
Crazy. No,
the curvature of the Earth works in your favor, guys.
Yeah. 9 minutes, I'm in the future.
Bro, thank you so much for being here on a Sunday night. You're getting ready to take off and leave the country and have your kidney removed without your permission. It's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be really great. I'm going to miss you, bro. I'm going to run the show next Monday with a special co-host. Instead of bringing in a guest, I asked somebody, I said, will you be my co-host on Monday in Gaz's stead? And
he's testing someone else to replace me, chat. That's fine. For that in the chat comments are always like, I hate this guy's voice. I hate it too, hearing you back.
I hate my voice too.
Your dreams may come true. But just remember, the realness will decrease by 65% minimum. Yeah.
With RDNA 1.5.
Yeah,
Jim says free kidneys for everyone. November's in 24 hours. Oh.
I'm in.
Yeah.
What? No, it's in. In 9 minutes here in the UK, it'll be 1 a.m.
It'll be the 31st.
Midnight, sorry.
30 days, half September, April,
No,
June,
you're right.
November.
You're right. I'm an idiot. The clocks went back.
Gaz uses metric time over there in the UK. Oh gosh, Fun said my co-host is going to be Zocker. No, I'm just kidding. We love Zocker. Zocker was on here with us last week. He said, "Let me in," and we had such a good.
What was that?
That was so fun. Gaz, tell everybody. Well, you kind of did at the beginning of the show, but you're gonna take a couple weeks off. When's the next sauce video? Because I wasn't paying attention.
The sauce video is, inshallah, coming on Tuesday. Tuesday is the day I'm flying out. I have to work on it all of tomorrow. There's a lot of pressure because I've got the bits filmed, but Tuesday, and I'm hoping it's good. Just have to rush it a little bit, but it's insane. They're like 3 skits of over a period of 3 weeks that I filmed that I didn't get to use because life got ahead of me. And after this, I've made it my mission to take it to a whole new level. And I'm talking on a whole new level. I keep saying it, but now I know what to do. Why are you laughing?
I'm watching the feed and it's like 15 seconds behind, and I went like this, like let me in, and then you went like this.
What are you doing? You literally just
I was doing like he's holding on the bars, like let me in. And when you did it, it looked like you had like the shake
Your
weights.
focus like let me. Oh, you're such a.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah, we should have let Fonz in as well. I mean, that would have been fun with three of us. But I know who's
I gotta
got
get
next
Fonz
week,
on here.
and it's going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be a good show. I will miss you all, chat. I'm sure you'll miss me, right? Yeah, you. But it's going to be fun. I'll be away for 2 weeks, and we're going to get lit. You will have a great time with Excellency, and a great guest for next week is going to be Dank, or co-host, whatever you want to call my replacement. And it's going to be Ling. And Fonz is like, let me in. As I'm about to leave, no, Fonz, I will need to sleep. It's 1 a.m. now, which is usually when I start the show. But yeah, please get through this shit in beautiful health. Be well, brother. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, everyone in chat. Please hit the like button. It was a bit of a chaotic show. And I'm sure it will improve once I'm not here. But it was fun.
Well, then,
I had a great time.
I'm getting tired of this impending news. Like
Yeah.
it's been like that, right? And I've had a good time talking about a lot of this stuff, but some of this stuff was like, oh, the impending bad news is coming. It's been a rough year. Even as saucy as it could be, even for the PlayStation guys, you know, they had a good year for first party games. Like if you look at it overall, but like that long 7-month run from the spring until God of War Ragnarok, you see them lashing out at Xbox guys, and Xbox guys are like, hey, I'm already in the doghouse. We haven't had anything big AAA from Xbox first party. So leave us alone. And yeah, I feel it. I've never run out of games to play. And I think after we're done, I would get Fonz in here, but I got to get this show produced and get back to my family. I'm going to get Fonz on the show, but Fonz and I are probably going to play some Xbox together on Party Chat. But as far as what I'm doing on the channel yet, I don't know what's going on, what's coming up, but we'll see. But thanks so much for being here. You know, we had some good people. Hit the like button on the way out, and I will hit the outro button, and we'll get out of here. Thanks so much for showing up on a Sunday, and I'll see you guys Monday, regular time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. What is it? I don't know what the time is in the UK as it's changed, but we'll be back with
now.
Yeah, we'll be back with
Well,
a
that's
guest.
1 a.m. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. Right? 31st of October.
I can't wait till we stop changing clocks over here. I think that's next year. We're gonna get out of here. Have a good night, Gaz.
Thank
say
you so much.
goodbye. Do the
Bye.